The following March, Liverpool made their 4th successive appearance in the League Cup final, this time against their neighbours and rivals from across Stanley Park, Everton. There was no score at Wembley, and they tried again at Main Road, Manchester.
Interesting, Tommy, I think that Sharp should be making such an impact, and you bear in mind that he's not certain of his place because Andy Gray is cup-tied.
Well, that's right, because I saw him the 3-0 game at Anfield, and he was outstanding with a little support that particular day. Then they signed Andy Gray, and ever since his place has been in doubt. But when you look at the way him and Heath are playing tonight and at the weekend, you wonder why.
Well, they try to get Heath going again up the near touchline, but the ball over the top just too long, and Grobbelaar and Kennedy between them able to let it roll out of play, and Liverpool have a goal kick.
I was thinking, George, the way that they played in the 2 finals, Sunday and tonight, I think Andy Gray would be a very worried man, but that's a nice situation to have, isn't it?
And how times change. Everton, who were on the rack in the first half of the season, are now a very different proposition indeed. Only 2 defeats in 1984. Only 2 defeats in their last 22 games, including last Sunday, and that's no mean record. Liverpool have a throw, 10 yards inside their own half. Near side, Kennedy has it, back it goes to Hansen. And Hansen, middle of his own half, plays it forward, up to Johnston, who leaves it for Rush. Now Johnston dispossessed. Ball breaks to Kenny Dalglish, and then Souness. And Souness helps it to Neil on the far side. Johnson pops up over there too. Nods it down for Dalglish. Now Neil, 15 yards inside the Everton half. Souness again. Souness, a shot on the turn, and Souness has scored! Graham Souness! Graham Souness breaks the deadlock after 21 minutes. The ball came to him, 25 yards out, facing the wrong way. He turned, he whipped in the shot. Southall saw it, too late. In it went, low by his left-hand post. It's Everton 0, Liverpool 1.
Great goal, George. It wasn't even a chance, it was a half chance. And as you say, the obvious thing to do was smash it with his right foot. He turned inside onto his left. I don't know where Neville Southall wasn't expecting it or not, but before he knew what happened, the ball was in the back of the net. Marvellous goal.
Marvellous days, too, for Liverpool and Joe Fagan. On May the 12th, they needed just another point for their 3rd successive championship, and their opponents were Notts County, who'd already been relegated.
BBC News and Saturday Sports Roundup. This is Brian Martin. As the communist boycott of the Olympic Games...
And this is Brian Pitts with the sports headlines on another historic day for Liverpool Football Club.
There goes the whistle for the end of the game here at Meadow Lane. Notts County 0, Liverpool 0, and that means Liverpool have got their 15th title, their 3rd in succession, and only 2 other clubs have done that in the history of football.
It was also a momentous day for one of Liverpool's most famous old boys, Kevin Keegan, now of Newcastle, who played his very last league game. Among the prizes still to be won on the final Saturday of the league season was the richest of them all, the Championship. Realistically, Liverpool needed just 1 point from their game at Notts County, who'd already been relegated. They got their point in a scrappy 0-0 draw. It makes them champions for the 15th time, and perhaps even more important for the club who've won virtually everything, it meant they'd won the title for the 3rd year running, something only achieved twice before by Huddersfield and Arsenal in the interwar years. As he came off the pitch at Meadow Lane, Nottingham, Liverpool's captain Graham Souness was asked if there'd ever been a moment during the season when he'd thought they wouldn't land the title.
We had 1 or 2 incidents in the dressing room, Edgar, especially after the Man United game, and I can't remember the other one, where we felt we were a wee bit soft. We felt that United scored against us in the last minute at home, and we felt that that's slipping up against them, because we always felt they were going to be our biggest challenger. I think by our own standards, we didn't deserve to win the league, but obviously by everyone else's standards we did, because no one else caught us. I mean, winning it 0-0 here against a team who's relegated, okay, they battled very well, all credit to them, but I mean, it just typifies the season, doesn't it?
And the season wasn't over, not for Liverpool. At the end of the month, they headed for Rome for their 4th European Cup final. And waiting for them was a side that felt quite at home in the Eternal City, the formidable AC Roma.
Grobbelaar, edge of his penalty area, bounces it and then drop kick. Long raking drop kick, dropping inside the Roma half, well inside it. Headed up in the air by Nela. and helps across towards Conti, and Conti has Cerezo outside him and uses him. Cerezo just inside the Liverpool half. Lovely little ball into Falcao on the centre circle. Good control from Falcao, and then a foul by, I think, Lawrenson, who was quick to scamper away from the scene.
I think he was looking for a foul there, to be truthful. He seemed to have lost control of the ball, and as soon as then somebody came in behind him, down he went. But Liverpool are sharp, Roma are sharp, and I mean, it's got the, as you say, it's got the makings of a cracking match.
Liverpool intercepts as Roma try to move forward. Kennedy thumps it upfield. Across goes Bonetti to cut it out, but Liverpool have it once more. Dalglish back to Kennedy, still inside his own half, but doing nothing in any kind of a hurry. Now Hansen, familiar left side of central defence. Hansen strolls elegantly forward, then plays it to Dalglish. Dalglish towards the far wing, left wing, infield to Souness, edge of the centre circle. Souness seeks out Lee, near side, controlled in his chest, midway inside the Roma half, then forward to Johnston. Neil's gone up in support. Johnston strikes a deep cross. Whelan on the back post, beats Tancredi, and it's half cleared, ball still loose. Neil is there, and Neil has put it into the net, and the goal in! Phil Neil has scored! And Phil Neil, the man whose penalty on this ground in 1977 wrapped up Liverpool's first European Cup triumph, has put them all in for the first goal of this match with 14 minutes gone. Terrible confusion in the Roma defence. Whelan put awful pressure on Tancredi. The defence looked for a foul on the keeper. They didn't properly clear it. It bounced off the goalkeeper's head, in fact, and back into the path of Neil, and from 10 yards he's deadly.
But it wasn't a foul. I mean, the keeper's made a mistake, and as soon as he's made the mistake, he's realised it, and he's tried to claim a foul against it. It's bounced back into the penalty area, and Phil just stuck it in. Tremendous. Brilliant. Just keep it going, please.
Well, there speaks a man with a red heart.
Belonging, of course, to Emlyn Hughes, but 2 minutes before half-time, Roma equalised, 1-1, and that's the way it stood after extra time. So, a penalty shootout. Not everyone's notion of the right way to settle a cup final, but undeniably high drama. Steve Nichols stepped forward first and knocked the ball over the bar. Agostino Di Bartolome scored for Rome. Phil Neal levelled the scores, and then Bruno Conti shot over the bar. Graham Souness, Liverpool skipper, put Liverpool in front, but Righetti was on the mark for Rome. 2 apiece.
Right, it's Liverpool's turn again.
This could be Ian Rush's 50th goal. I hope to God it is. Please score, Ian.
Yes, Ian Rush, who scored 49 goals for Liverpool and Wales, 47 for his club, 2 for his country, tried desperately to get his 50th against Northern Ireland at Swansea, couldn't do that. Let's say he's going to do it now. Again, because it's 2-2, absolutely vital. Each side has missed 1 apiece. Ian Rush against Tancredi, and Ian Rush scores triumphantly.
At 50 for Ian, it might be his most important goal he'll ever score in his whole career, because if Bruce now can save this one, then we're 1 penalty away from winning the European Cup, and that's the most magnificent achievement ever.
Well, this is where the mathematics get a trifle complicated, but just to put it in perspective, Liverpool are 3-2 in front on penalties. Roma have 2 to take, Liverpool have 1 to take. So if Roma miss this one and Liverpool score their next one, then it's going to be Liverpool's cup. It's Francesco Graziani against Bruce Grobbelaar. Graziani over the top. Grobbelaar is doing a jig of joy. Graziani can't believe it. Over the top it went, striking the crossbar, skidding off on its way. And just to repeat, if Liverpool score this one, then the cup is back on Merseyside.
Alan Kennedy, he's played a million games for Liverpool. If he never kicks another ball in his life, this is the most important strike that he'll ever have.
Close your eyes, Evan.
Please,
close your eyes.
Please.
What a moment. What a moment. Alan Kennedy, with this penalty, could win the European Cup for Liverpool Football Club. Alan Kennedy comes up, and Alan Kennedy has won the European Cup for Liverpool. Kennedy runs away, the whole team crawl all over Alan Kennedy, the man who scored in the European Cup final in Paris, the man who's played over 150 consecutive games for Liverpool, the quiet man, not flashy Alan Kennedy, he just gets on with the business. When he got on with the business there, and he hit the ball into the back of the net, Roma stand dejected in the centre circle, as indeed did Anderlecht at White Hart Lane in the UEFA Cup final. It may be a cruel way to end, I still think it is, but the fact remains that that scoreboard away to our right says quite simply 3-5.
And so, for Liverpool, a unique treble. League Championship, League Cup and European Cup. The Championship for the third season in succession. The League Cup for the fourth time in a row. And the Champions Cup for the fourth time in all. 1984, and Liverpool's star was at its highest point in the heavens. A year later, Liverpool were back in the European Cup final. Their opponents, another Italian side, Juventus. The scene, the Heysel Stadium in Brussels. And this time, it was different. The high point of the European season was a nightmare. There was a riot on the terraces before the game. 39 people, most of them Italian, were killed, more than 400 injured. The final went ahead for safety reasons. The authorities felt they had no option. And, for what it was worth, Juventus won by 1-0. It was a disaster which led to English clubs being banned for Europe, a ban which would stretch into the 1990s. But more immediately, the kindly Joe Fagan resigned. It was more than he could take. And into his place, straight from the dressing room, stepped Kenny Dalglish as player-manager, with Bob Paisley beside him to give advice.
He was an individual apart, and he was always judged that way, and his footballing knowledge, and he brings so many people into the game when he is playing there, and that's the essence of a really knowledgeable player in that, and I didn't have any qualms. My hardest job, as I say, is trying to keep him playing.
But do you discuss the team on a Saturday afternoon a lot, that sort of thing?
He has a little natter about it, and sometimes I can understand him, sometimes I can't. and if it's one of those doubtful ones, I'd just let it go as though I've heard it.
Liverpool were already champions for the 16th time when they went to Wembley to play Everton in the 1986 FA Cup final. Liverpool had the league and cup double in their sights, but Gary Lineker, then playing for Everton, threatened to spoil the party with an opening goal after 28 minutes.
Ball midway inside the Everton half. Mountfield just a little short with the pass back to Mims. Rush was herring towards the Everton goalkeeper, but he was out safely as far as Everton were concerned. Has possession now, edge of his penalty area. Kicks right-footed from right to left. It's going to drop into the path of Lineker, but Nicol and Lawrenson between them win possession for Liverpool. Back with Grobbelaar, and the clearance hit first time. Whelan, poor pass inside, off the head of Nicol. Vandenhuis, long ball forward. Lineker's chasing, he's onside. Hansen is there, and Hansen, the Liverpool captain, gets there a yard ahead of Gary Lineker, something that didn't happen in the 28th minute when Lineker scored, and Liverpool survive. Beglin now hits another long pass. Dalglish chases. Mountfield wins it though for Everton. Good pass out to the far side of the field for Stevens, who then gives the ball away to Whelan. Inside to Mulvey, just outside the penalty area. Now with Rush, inside the air, great chance for Rush, and Rush has scored! Minutes gone in the second half. Liverpool get the equaliser with a lovely swift move, but what cool finishing from Ian Rush. He gathered the ball just inside the penalty area, danced around Mims, and then stroked it beautifully left-footed into the goal. His 32nd of the season. It's Everton 1, Liverpool 1. Ratcliffe is there for Everton. Forward to Reid, midway inside the Everton half. Good ball out to the far side of the field for Stevens. Back to Stevens, the fullback. It's going to head out to the England midfield player once more, Stephen. Back to Stevens, right-footed, first time. Lineker chasing with Hansen. Lineker almost makes it. Sharp with a header, and Grobbelaar touches the ball over the bar. A corner to Everton. What a tremendous piece of thinking by Graham Sharp. He was on the edge of the Liverpool penalty area as the ball went towards him off Hansen's half-hit clearance. Tremendous header, and Grobbelaar did ever so well to save the day for Liverpool. Everton have a corner. What a sparkling second half we've had. Stephen makes the motion to go to take the corner, then the wind blows the flag towards him. Finally gets it at the second attempt. In swinging corner, Grobbelaar gathers it neatly under his own post. What a tremendous save by Grobbelaar.
Yes, it was. The ball seemed to be a little danger at first, but Hansen was suddenly put under pressure by Lineker. It was his pace that caused the problem. Hansen's half clearance came across the D on the edge of the area. Sharp did well, really. It was a good head. It was just under the bar, and Grobbelaar was running backwards. That's the kind of save he's really good at. When it was agility is required, he's really superb at that.
Yes, it's easy to criticise Bruce Grobbelaar, but, you know, he does ever so well. But Liverpool on the attack. Moby, the long look, clears, and Johnston has scored for Liverpool! Within 6 minutes, Liverpool equalise, and now they take the lead, and once again it was Jan Molby who was involved. He won possession inside the Everton penalty area. There didn't seem that much danger at first. He jinked past two defenders, crossed low, and there was Craig Johnston unmarked on the far post. Mims had no chance. It's Everton 1, Liverpool 2.
We have now 7.5 minutes to go. And if Liverpool can hold on, then it is the great double. Only the second team this century, if they do it, alongside a great Spurs team and, of course, Arsenal. But there are still now 7 minutes to go. And Everton will give it all. And they have a throw, 5 yards or so inside their own half, almost immediately below us. That's down the Everton left. Captain Radcliffe takes it. Short, but the sharp challenges tend to be coming in from Liverpool, though Sheedy picks up a loose ball. Wide, Begrin heads the ball away. McDonald's there to help out. Nice ball from Whelan onto Johnston's head. Rush there, lovely control from Johnston again. Moby, and he lays the ball wide, and Whelan is galloping deep inside the Everton half. Whelan's just outside the Everton penalty area. Whelan will chip it wide. Rush is there, and Rush has won the cup for Liverpool. A lovely through ball again. The Irishman Ronnie Whelan was there. He turned it to the right, and Ian Rush, deadly, knocks in his 32nd goal of the season. It's Liverpool 3, it's Everton 1. Ian Rush is the hero, because surely the cup now will go to Liverpool, and the double will go to Liverpool. The man is Ian Rush.
Everton rudely interrupted Liverpool's reign as champions in 1987. Liverpool only runners-up, though by way of modest compensation, they did reach the final of the League Cup, now known as the Littlewoods Cup. Liverpool faced Arsenal at Wembley, and for once in a final, they scored first.
And the ball is with Barry Venison, the right back for Liverpool, far side. Remember, in the white shirts, this is unusual, but the white shirts going forward. Well, he looked miles offside. McMahon, he's still onside. Rush is there, and it's scored. Liverpool 1-0. Ian Rush. McMahon was given space down the right, came inside the defender, and really, that's ABC for Ian Rush. He stood there, side-footed it past Lukic. 23 minutes on the watch. Could be significant. Arsenal 0, Liverpool 1, and the name is Ian Rush.
Yes, it was the pass really from centre field that destroyed Arsenal there. I think it was Molby put it right the way through. I thought Sanson actually was caught. I thought he was caught wide, and when the ball came across, Rush doesn't miss chances like that. No more than 10 yards, the side foot, underneath Lukic. And I think I'm right in saying, Peter, that when Ian Rush scored, Liverpool have never lost. I wonder if that's an omen.
When Charlie Nicholas equalised for Arsenal, Liverpool's fans might also have been banking on the infallibility of Ian Rush.
And Liverpool have the possession. It's 1-1 here with 8.5 minutes to full time. Square to McMahon. McMahon, Spackman, McMahon. McMahon still holds it. Square to Johnston, little thick ball onto Spackman. Can he stop that going in? He can't. And runs into a whole wall of photographers away. And the flag had gone up, I think, in any case. So it's a free kick to Arsenal. Good little build-up there by McMahon. And Dalglish just marauding on the edge of that Arsenal penalty area. That can't get used to a 12 on the back of Kenny Dalglish's shirt, I must say. But there it is. A red 12 on the back of his white Liverpool jersey. Changed strip this afternoon. Arsenal won the toss and said, we'll stick to red. Not surprisingly. And we have got now exactly 8 minutes by our watch to full time before extra time would beckon. Groves goes down the left. Oh, he's done well. Groves has done well, and he's inside the area square. Nicholas, and it's there! Arsenal have scored. Charlie Nicholas, a mistake in the end, and Grobbelaar couldn't recover, and the ball crept over the line, and Arsenal have taken the lead, and Charlie Nicholas is mobbed by his players. Arsenal 2, Liverpool 1, and we have got 7 minutes to go. Nicholas was there, saw the chance, the ball in fact came off a defender, goes over the goal line, and that's 2-1 to Arsenal.
The final score, and at the end of the season, Ian Rush left Liverpool to make his fortune in Italy. He was replaced by John Aldridge from Oxford. Aldridge, a Scouser, a lifelong Liverpool fan, and an Ian Rush look-alike. Something of a gamble, perhaps, but it paid handsome dividends. And indeed, Liverpool were on course for another League and Cup double in 1988. They were league champions again, and against Wimbledon at Wembley, they were one of the hottest favourites of all time.
And away we go again. Ball laid forward, Beardsley's there, and Beardsley's onside, and Beardsley takes across the ball, and it is not a goal. Beardsley got a bit of impeding on the fullback. I think genuinely he didn't know, and he felt he should have been allowed to go forward. And I think Phelan can feel fairly happy that the ball was brought back, because Beardsley did very well to curl the ball around West. He went into the back of the net, and then he saw that the referee, it's difficult of course for a referee, because if the whistle has gone, there's nothing else he can do except bring them back. But that was perhaps a let-off for Wimbledon. But now let's look at the free kick. It's about 5 yards outside the Wimbledon penalty area, way to the left there, and Barnes is the man, and he can be dangerous from any angle. There's a mixed wall of red and blue, Liverpool and Wimbledon. It's 0-0. Barnes still stands. The big tall figure of Gillespie's gone forward. Let's see what Barnes can do here. It's just to the right as Liverpool look at it. Barnes comes up and he fires it wide and wastes it. 0-0.
Yeah, it's a bit unfortunate on the referee that. In the end it turned out to be the wrong decision. What he did, he pulled up. He'd obviously blown the whistle because there was a foul, but Beardsley shrugged off the challenge, and he finished it absolutely magnificently as Besant came out, and that's a bit of bad luck for Liverpool, really.
Within a minute, Wimbledon were in front through their captain, Laurie Sanchez, and for Liverpool, it went from bad to worse.
Vinnie Jones crosses high into the Liverpool penalty. Out comes Grobbelaar, gathers it as Dennis Wise jump for the ball, and Grobbelaar wastes no time. Throws the ball out to Beardsley, running towards the halfway line. Out to Barnes, just short of that halfway line. Takes on Goodyear, then runs into a blue shirt, and the referee has seen an infringement for the challenge by Vinnie Jones. A US Marine lookalike this afternoon with that closely cropped hairstyle and that rather strapping figure. Free kick to Liverpool, taken quickly. Hansen plays it forward to Aldridge. The layoff to Beardsley, through to Aldridge again, inside the penalty area, goes down, and that's a penalty, according to the referee. But I don't really think that was a foul challenge by Clive Goodyear. That was a very harsh decision. There was an incident in the first half in which Liverpool might well have had a penalty for a push in the back of John Aldridge, but on that occasion he ran through, the full-back made contact with the ball, Aldridge went down, the referee was only a few yards away. His is the only decision that matters. I think it was a wrong decision, but Liverpool won't mind. It's a penalty to Liverpool, and John Aldridge will take it. No penalty has ever been missed in an FA Cup final at Wembley. No penalty has ever been missed by John Aldridge playing for Liverpool. He comes up, hits it right-footed, and Besant saves it. History is made. The first penalty ever saved in an FA Cup final at Wembley. Aldridge struck it to Besant's left, but the giant goalkeeper got down well, pushed the ball behind, and it's a corner to Liverpool, and Liverpool waste the chance. Nicol will take the corner when the linesman waves Terry Phelan away. It should never have been a penalty in the first place, so perhaps justice is done.
1-0 to Wimbledon, and Liverpool, lords of the realm, had been beaten by a side that was unfancied and unloved, disciples of the long ball and muscular pursuit, one of the biggest surprises in the long history of the final. But Ian Rush returned to Anfield after one unhappy season in Italy, and the last lap of the 1988-89 season saw Liverpool heading for the league and cup double yet again. But then came Hillsborough, tragedy beyond the range of words, the worst disaster in the history of British sport. 95 Merseyside supporters lost their lives on the crushingly overcrowded terraces at Hillsborough at the start of Liverpool's FA Cup semi-final with Nottingham Forest. The grief couldn't be measured. A city was united in its sorrow, and the ramifications, of course, were long and serious. The semi-final, when it was eventually played, was won by Liverpool, and fittingly they faced Everton in the final. The Requiem final, it was called. Wembley, for a day, belonged to Merseyside, a place of emotion and shared sadness, and a perfectly observed minute's silence. There was also a game of football, of course, a pretty good one, described by Mike Ingham.
Couple of minutes gone already in the final, and the ball is with the captain, Ratcliffe. Ratcliffe seeking out Sharp. Sharp, a good knockdown with his head for Nevin, wide on the right, taking on Staunton for the first time. A key duel that will be. Lays the ball infield to Bracewell. Bracewell with his right foot. Good climb, though, in the penalty area by Steve Nicol for Liverpool. And Everton have started the better side here. Everton again have it. Ratcliffe just inside his own half, looking again to carry the ball towards the far side of the field. Looking for Nevin again. Good balance and poise on the ball from Nevin. Back again with Ratcliffe. A round of applause for Everton from the fans. Ratcliffe then into the Liverpool half, looking for Tony Cottee. And Ablett was first to it, and now Liverpool with a little bit of shape about them at the back. Fine McMahon, formerly of Everton, getting a few boos from Evertonians, I notice, away to the right. Liverpool, though, not at the moment getting out of their own half, and it's back with goalkeeper Bruce Grobbelaar. Jimmy Arfield.
Yes, a satisfactory start by Everton. There was one point they won a corner early on. I think it'd be important for Everton to be accurate with the corner kicks and free kicks if they get Watson up there and Sharp as well. If Liverpool do have a weakness, it's the slight vulnerability at cross balls, and Everton might be able to cash in on it with those two players.
3 minutes gone in this 108th FA Cup final. Tale of one city, Everton 0, Liverpool 0, and still the possession with Everton at the moment. Kevin Ratcliffe finding his fellow central defender Dave Watson. Liverpool born and bred, of course, but his previous big cup appearance here was for Norwich City as the captain of the 1985 Milk Cup winners. Neville Southall clears downfield. Sharp is beaten to it. Hansen was first to the ball. All Scottish confrontation there. Now it's in the centre circle. And cut beautifully to the near side for Kevin Sheedy. Sheedy kills it with his left foot. And then a poor ball from him. Easily cut out by Steve Nicol. And Liverpool again now trying to cross the halfway line. Nicol with his right foot. Excellent ball for McMahon. McMahon slips it through for Aldridge. And Aldridge scores for Liverpool! Unbelievable start to the match. I'm almost certain that that was John Aldridge's first touch of the whole final. The man who missed the penalty in last year's final against Wimbledon, John Aldridge, playing for the 100th time for his club today, the bookies' favourite to score the first goal, and he's done just that. John Aldridge yet again for Liverpool, altogether his 30th goal of the season. Liverpool 1, Everton 0.
We're in the last minute of the game by our watch. Joe Worrell may add a little time on, but not very much. We've had only 2 stoppages that I can remember in the second half. Van den Houw plays it all the way back to Southall, a long clearance from him. And the little flick on, Everton have the possession. Sharp finds Nevin. Nevin on the edge of the area. Ball goes to Watson. He drives it there, and it's there. And Stuart McCall has equalised for Everton in what is the last 5 seconds of the half. Unbelievable stuff here. Nevin set it up. The cross came in. Grobbelaar saved it, and Stuart McCall hammered it into an empty net. Liverpool 1, Everton 1, and we're in now, I would have thought, extra time.
Halfway inside the Everton half down the far side. Left-hand side for Liverpool, it's a throw-in. And Whelan, who must have thought he was going to lift up the cup, now involved in extra time. Houghton's layoff is a little bit tired. McMahon can't get there. Everton are winning a bit of the 50-50 stuff at the moment. There's a tussle between 2 of the substitutes, Venison and Wilson. Venison lays it off neatly for Whelan. It's a little bit crowded at the moment. Whelan Now for Rush. Rush 20 yards out, carrying the ball forward. Barnes got in the way a little bit there, but does spread it wide now to Nicol over on the far side. The two teams will be wanting to use the flanks if they can. Nicol, left-footed shot. Charged down by McDonald. It might spin for a corner kick. No, it's just going to be a throw-in. A couple of yards from the flag over on the far side. Steve Nicol still full of running over on the far side, going across to take it and throwing it over John Barnes for Beardsley, and Beardsley's just tackled on the edge of the area by McDonald. It's back again in the sunshine over on the far side again with Nicol. Nicol chip ball this time, rushes there, swivels, turns, scores! Brilliant goal! And Merseyside history is created at Wembley by Ian Rush, who puts Liverpool not only back into the lead here in the cup final, but breaks the record set by the legendary Dixie Dean of scoring now 20 goals in Merseyside derbies. It has not been Ian Rush's season since he returned from Juventus, but now it's ending on a high for him because Rush has come on as a substitute, and after 5 minutes into extra time, puts Liverpool back in the front with a swivel and a crushing finish. Liverpool 2, Everton 1. Everton have got a free kick, and we've got 3 minutes left of this first period of extra time, and Trevor Stephen and Stuart McCall congregating around the ball. It's about 15 yards inside the Liverpool half. They've taken it, but Joe Worrell wants them to come back another couple of yards. He's been a stickler for that throughout the game, but he's been consistent, that's the main thing. And Kevin Ratcliffe makes a mark and prepares to take the free kick. McDonald makes a run to the far side. Ratcliffe, though, goes straight down the centre. Hansen rises, finds McCall, though. McCall shot, equalising goal for Everton! And what a sweet volley from Stuart McCall from 20 yards. Bruce Grobbelaar couldn't do anything about it. What a substitution. McCall gets the first equaliser. 5 seconds to go in normal time. And following that free kick, which Liverpool didn't get away cleanly, McCall, with 3 minutes to go in the first period of extra time, has scored again. It's Liverpool 2, Everton 2. And Everton are coming again down the right-hand side. And Nevin's trying to take on Ablett. Well, you said earlier in the commentary, Jimmy, that Bruce hadn't been off his feet here today. He has now, twice. And McCall's made him do that. He made him pick the ball out of the back of the net twice. Are we heading, I wonder, for Thursday, June the 8th? Personally, I hope not. Let's hope it's settled here today, because we don't want this one to continue for another fortnight or so. I think it's all set up really for a finish here today with these 82,000 people on this glorious day. Fiercely competitive game. Everton again, well, back in it now. Perhaps they've got the initiative again, but Liverpool still showing great character. Barnes to Rush, and Rush has scored another goal with his head. And I don't believe it. Within a minute and a half of Everton equalising for the second time, John Barnes breaks down the left, delivers the cross, a little crouch from Ian Rush, and a header past Neville Southall. And not only has he broken that Dixie Dean record, he's gone even one past him now. He's now scored 21 goals in Merseyside derbies. Spectacular substitutions in this final. 2 goals from McCall, a substitute. 2 goals from Rush, a substitute. And Liverpool lead here by 3 goals to 2.
Yes, Ian Rush, at the end of a season in which he'd struggled to find his old touch, suddenly came good. The cup was Liverpool's, and on the last day of the season, they faced their only challengers for the league championship, Arsenal at Anfield. Liverpool needed only to avoid defeat by 2 goals to complete the double again. Surely they couldn't fail.
Well, by my watch, we're now actually in injury time, but I'm sure a little bit will be added on as the ball is touched back to Grobbelaar, and there will be a great crescendo in the last few seconds, I'm certain, from both sets of supporters. As the ball again is played deep inside the Arsenal half, bounces high. Underneath it is Steve Nicol for Liverpool. To Barnes of Liverpool. To Beardsley, but he couldn't get hold of it. Adams is there. Barnes beats Adams. Barnes just outside the Arsenal penalty area, drags the ball away from Adams. Barnes is still there, and he can't get round Richardson, who's recovered, or he's still limping though quite heavily, and recovered enough at least to play it back to Lukic. Out it goes to Lee Dixon. Long ball from Lee Dixon. Smith will hold it up, plays it square to Thomas, and Thomas goes inside Nicol, and Thomas is there, and Thomas has scored for Arsenal in injury time. Michael Thomas has scored for Arsenal. A ball played through the gap. Thomas was there. He held off 2 challenges, kept his head. By my watch, we are a minute and a half into injury time, and Michael Thomas may have won the championship for Arsenal.
So Liverpool, in the last seconds of the longest football season, lost their championship in the double by just 1 goal. Some sides might have been undermined, but not Liverpool. A year later, the championship was on again.
So Liverpool with a penalty kick that could decide the championship. Barnes hits it into the net. To the left of Seaman as the keeper dived to the right. John Barnes' 6th successful penalty of the season, and that could mean that the championship goes to Anfield for the 18th time. Another record. Liverpool 2, Queen's Park Rangers 1. I don't think most of the fans in the Copperweight are right or aware yet that Villa have come dramatically from a goal down to 2-1 up, a result that would keep the championship alive at least until Tuesday night. Remember the situation at the top of the First Division. Liverpool have 70 points, Villa have 68. Villa would only have 1 game left. That's away at, of all places, Everton next Saturday. But Liverpool are at home to Derby on Tuesday, and then their final game is at Coventry next Saturday. So if the results go as they've gone in the last few minutes, namely wins for Liverpool and Villa, then it would go to Tuesday night. Jimmy Armfield alongside me. Let me bring you back a few minutes to the penalty kick. Barnes scored it, there's no question about that, but was it a penalty?
Well, the referee never hesitated at all. It was right on the edge of the penalty area, right on the line. When Maddox tackled Nicol, Nicol went sprawling. There was no question that Nicol fell in the box. But from the position where I was, Maddox looked to be on the line. So it's one of those things when it's going for you, you know, as it did today. You get a bit of luck. The referee doesn't hesitate. That's all that matters really now.
Villa, meanwhile, had scored again and led 3-1. John Inverdale was back in the studio in London.
And we're leaving here immediately to go to Villa Park. A crucial goal, BRYON Butler.
And would you believe this game has been stood on its head again? It's now Aston Villa 3, Norwich 3. And Robert Rosario has just equalised for Norwich, quite unbelievably. He's managed it in the 83rd minute, just after an own goal by Derek Mountfield. The Villa central defender had put Norwich right back into the game.
So if it stays like that at Villa Park, we now return to Anfield for the moments that see Liverpool win the First Division title. Alan Green.
BRYON Butler has just achieved everlasting fame at Anfield. As he was given that news, the Liverpool supporters erupted in delight, and I'm sure that Liverpool know they are precisely 1 minute away from their 18th league championship. They've got possession inside the Rangers half. Houghton looking to play the 1-2 with Rush, and you can hear the roar from the Kop. Champions, champions. But the way this afternoon's football has gone, it's not over yet. It's close to being over, though. The whistles come up from the fans. They want full time at Anfield. Villa 3, Norwich 3. A win will take the championship into Kenny Dalglish's hands. Grobbelaar, edge of his area, clears right-footed. The referee blows his whistle. Liverpool have won by 2 goals to 1. They've gotten the business. 3 points, that's what they needed here this afternoon. They've got them courtesy of a 2-1 victory, and we wait to see if Villa have dropped 2 precious points at Villa Park.
Where another 6 tantalising minutes of play remained. Villa's best, not enough though. The score stayed 3-3, and Liverpool were champions for the 18th time in all, their 13th title since Bill Shankly pointed the way just over a quarter of a century before. From Shankly to Dalglish.